Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a first perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a hilarious show for you guys. Before we even get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to hit all notifications to be notified the second our content comes out, and check out the Dreamers Pro podcast if you want today's full show before it hits YouTube. Let me just go ahead and get into this topic. Let me first of all start off by saying I'm enjoying we are done with the 90s thing right now. We are at war, and I'm enjoying every moment of it. I'm glad that Dreamers Pro is in the mix, and we're one of the channels out there duking it out with the rest of these channels out there, and these people out there twerking it up, shaking it up all over the place, slapping each other. Well, honey, I'm happy that we're here to see all of it, and I am here for all of the smoke, all of it. Count me in. I'm here for all of it. So this we're done with the 90s seems to be something that started to grow some legs, and now it's making its way into the mainstream. Why am I saying this? Because yesterday I saw a few shows from The Odd Couple featuring Rob Parker and Chris Broussard, and they were discussing this. One episode they discussed it. I forgot what the gentleman who they discussed it with. They were saying it was Rob Parker's relative. I've heard him before. I just can't remember his name right now. And then the second episode, they were reacting to some comments that NBA Laker legend Shaquille O'Neal had to make in response to this news when he was talking about it on the big podcast. So that's essentially the backdrop to what was taking place in the conversation. So after Shaq, they played the Shaq audio, and Rob Parker responded to it. Chris Broussard then proceeded to systematically obliterate. There's another word I'm looking for. I just can't come to my mind. Systematically just pick these guys, surgically remove every single idiotic argument that has been spouted all over the table over the last 48 hours with these guys going up here saying all of this nonsense. But before we even get into what Chris Broussard had to say, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select two or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting two entries. Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks, and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. PrizePicks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And once again, once you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is play exactly what Chris Broussard had to say as he systematically broke down this entire debate. I want you guys to listen to every second of what he had to say, because I believe he put out some pertinent information out there. So we're going to play it for you now, but I'm going to come back and give you guys our thoughts and really get into the show. Take a listen to what Chris Broussard had to say here.
Shaq is right. And when you look back at the 90s, the first thing you will notice, it will be eye-popping, is that the game was played so close to the paint. The game was virtually right around the painted area. Okay? And now it is incredibly spread out. That's the first thing you'll notice. It looks like a different game in that respect. So there's that. Secondly, the players today are, by and large, I would say more athletic. That doesn't mean, anybody necessarily is more athletic than Michael Jordan or than Dominique Wilkins or Clyde Drexler, some of the super athletes of that era. But I think more players are athletic. Again, what we describe as athleticism right now than were in the 90s, period. Okay, the ball handling is better, in part because they let you carry. You just do.
Thank you, Chris.
Right. I mean, when I grew up and I played basketball through college, you were taught to have your hand on top of the ball. At times, you obviously have it a little on the side, but you pretty much had it on top of the ball. You can't do the things with the ball when your hand's on top of it that you can do when it's on the side all the time and dart half the time under the ball. All right, so that is in part why the ball handling is so much or is better. The shooting is interesting. Obviously, I mean, what people will point to is that the young kids, well, the three, they shoot so much better. They actually don't. They just shoot it more.
Right.
3-point percentage is similar to what league-wide, 3-point percentage is 36.7 right now. In 2013-14, it was 36%. In 2008 and 9, it was 36.7. In 2001-02, it was 35.4. All right, 96-97. Now I think those might have been the years where they had the shorter line. It was 36%. But my point is, it's very close. It's hovered around 35%.
But they stand on this idea of skilled, Chris.
The skill, like I said, ball handling is different because they're carrying.
Right.
The shooting, if guys, what they figured out, and for those that don't know, some people may know this, a lot don't, Rob. And it's amazing that it did take people so long to figure this out. Because what the analytics people realized at some point was, you know what? Because, Rob, 50% shooting from the field was the standard. Like, if you do that, that's excellent. Right. Especially for a perimeter player, a guard, that's excellent. That's what you were shooting pretty good percentage if you shot 50% from two. What the analytics people figured out was, well, if you shoot 33% from three, that's the equivalent of 50% from two. And we can shoot better than 33%. We can shoot 34, 35%.
36%.
Right. So we should just keep doing that instead of going for these twos. And they figured that out, and that is what sparked the three-point revolution. Obviously you got power forwards and centers even shooting threes. But my point is the shooters back then could shoot just as well because the percentages are pretty similar. They just didn't shoot as much, didn't shoot a lot of them. And here's the ultimate thing, Rob. I believe that while I give today's players advantages in certain ways, I also think they're disadvantaged in certain ways. They're not as fundamentally sound in terms of playing team basketball. I mean 5-player basketball, not just high pick and roll, which is 2-man ball, or ISO 1-man ball, and you do what you can, and if you can't get a shot, you kick it out to a teammate. That's what today's American players are being raised in. Whereas it used to be, and this includes Michael Jordan and his generation, they were raised playing 5-man basketball, moving without Luka Doncic can't move without the basketball. And I don't know, he's not American, but he doesn't know what to do with it unless the ball's in his hands. All right. And the players of back in the day Michael Jordan would move without the ball, set some screens. They knew how to make post-entry passes. They knew how to guard the post. They had post moves. Those are the things I'm talking about when I say the fundamentals aren't where they used to be. And so I would tell you that while the players today are more athletic, have better handles, again, carrying, but still, the teams of the 90s could play with these teams and beat them at times. I think it'd be just as good because they played 5-man basketball. Whereas today they're just playing pick and roll, 2-man, the other 3 guys spread the floor and I'll kick it to you. Or 1-man basketball. I'm going to create one-on-one and kick it to you if I can't get anything. That's easier to guard. It's easier to stop. And Rob, if you look at the teams that just say gave LeBron trouble, the Spurs Why? They play 5-man team basketball. The Warriors, why? They play 5-man team basketball. What is Denver doing now? 5-man team basketball. Denver is not the most talented team in the world.
No.
You should look, and that's the thing. You can look at Jokic, Luka, Steph, James Harden. None of them are what we call athletic today.
Yep.
You know, by today's NBA standards. But they're skilled. And I don't mean just ball handling skill. I mean skilled. And the players in the 90s were skilled and could play with these guys. So that's kind of my breakdown of it. You know, when and the memes, Rob, I could take bad plays from LeBron. I could take bad plays from Jordan. I could take bad plays from Luka and make it look like these dudes don't know what they're doing.
So you heard what Chris Broussard had to say. I would like to join and participate in the jokes. He broke it down to a molecular level. Let me add in my own 2 cents. We keep talking about how great this era is and how you're done with the 90s. And I think that the people that did this, that started this, are the Gilbert Arenases of the world, are the LeBron James fans. This is all. And they're trying to distract us from this Balco situation. But they brought this nonsense up. The problem is they picked a ridiculous thing to even debate on. Are we really going to sit down here and say that we done with the 90s? Are we really going to say that Michael Jordan can't go left? Is this what you guys have resorted to? So now I started noticing other people, other creators out there, like Sports and Fitness Rants, Scalp Attack started doing shows that we're done with the 2010s. Too Raw for Too Raw for Sports and others. They've been talking about we're done with the 2020s, right? So as all these people are going back and forth, yesterday something dawned on me. And I posted something on the channel that I want to, not a channel, on the community section about 10 hours ago. It has about 312 comments with about 870 likes. And I said the following. I said, let's not forget, this is the era that couldn't even win the bronze in the FIBA games. Laughing my MFing ass off. We done with the 2020 trash ass players. They couldn't even get a medal. Throw this entire era in the garbage. That's what I said. And when I put up that post, it turns out that hadn't occurred to a lot of people. They knew the information, obviously, but they forgot about it. So help me figure this out. You're done with the 90s. What era 90s players ever lost in any of this international competition? None. That never happened, right? But this era, with the most skilled basketball players, with the most athletic basketball players that we have ever seen, the most advanced set of players the NBA has ever produced, went into the international games and got their asses whiz-zapped. They got their asses handed to them. It got so bad that you know what they did? You know what they did? They were like, we're going to go back and get players that came into the NBA 10 to 15 years ago. We need to go get LeBron. We need to go get Kevin Durant. We need to go get Stephen Curry. We need to go get all of these guys to come help us beat the international players because we can't do it. But this is the era. You dudes want to convince us it's better than the night. Are you? Of course they're kidding. I was about to say, are you kidding me? Of course they're kidding. I think the only people that are adults pushing this argument are grown-ass men trying to appeal to a younger audience. And this is the problem. This is, let me see if I can find the gentleman that said this. I want to see, because he brought up a very, very interesting and yet important point. I want to see if I can find the gentleman's name, because Fox Sports Radio. Here it is here. Let me see. What is his name? Because I saw this show yesterday. Vincent Goodwill. That's his name. He brought up a very, very important point on The Odd Couple yesterday, which is this. This is beyond just we're done with the 90s. This is a bigger societal issue that we're facing. Listen, folks, the fact of the matter is the following. This present generation that we're in is full of the most disrespectful crop of citizens to ever walk on the planet. That's number one. Number two, and I think one of the major keys is driving this type of that's actually giving life to this environment, is the men. This goes back to men. What am I talking about? You see, what has happened is you have men in their 30s, mid 30s, 40s that want to be 18 years old, that want to be 23 years old, that want to be 25-year-olds. So what do? They know they can't be 25-year-olds. They know they can't be 18-year-olds. So what do? They start saying things that the young boys want to hear so they will accept them, which to me is crazy. So they're backing up these younger guys in their nonsense and supporting them, even though they know it's not true, because they want to latch onto their wave and ride it out with the young boys. Everybody's running away from their age group. You got the young guys that are the young guys, and you got some older guys that want to be young guys. This is the problem. How can you be 40 years old talking about old players in the past? Son, you old too. What are you talking about? What are you even on right now? How you diss your own era? How you play yourself so the young boys will like you? This is the problem that I'm noticing. Some of these cats be running up on me with these nasty ass comments talking about, oh, you old. Son, I'm 36 years old. First of all, if that make me old, then I don't know what a 90-year-old is. But anyway, if that's supposed to make me feel some type of way, you must be bugging. I love being my age. I don't want to be 18. I don't want to be 22. I don't want to be 26. I want to be my age. It's called being cool in your skin. If I got a gray pop up here, y'all gonna see it. If I got another gray pop up here, y'all gonna see it. Trust and believe. I'm not trying to be, I'm this. I don't care about none of that. All the men with real money are the ones in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s anyway. So what, I want to be young and broke? Man, y'all can keep that. And undecided. So the older guys are supposed to be the ones showing the younger guys how the game go. But they don't. They trying to rock out with them. So you have dudes in their 40s, 45 talking about, yeah, the 90s are trash. Yeah, they're trash. But they know they capping. They know they're capping. This is the main driver of it. So when you have older guys acting like young boys, where are the checks and balances in society? They don't exist. This is why you can go to certain places and see adults acting like children. This is the fundamental problem that we're facing as a society. So if the young guys are saying this, cool. That's what they believe. But when you got older cats trying to be with them like, no, yo. Anyway, y'all be cool with it. I'm cool in my skin. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. I'm 100% cool in my skin. Y'all can keep twerking it up for these younger generation guys. Because at the end of the day, they still going to be laughing at your old ass anyway, according to, they still going to be like, yo, they're going to talk to you. But after you leave, like, yo, why his old ass always here with us? Why doesn't he go hang out with people in his own age group? That's what they going to say. I'm just keeping it funky with you. If I'm 35, you're not going to see me hanging around with a bunch of 25. I'm sorry. Not that I got nothing against them, but they're not my age group. We're in a different point of life. We have a different conversation. And that's the problem. Some of these older guys want to be young boys. Just keeping it funky. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.